Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. We are here tonight with life coach Amy Clark. Welcome.
Hey.
I'm going to introduce her again in about 2 to 3 minutes. So if you're watching the replay, go ahead and skip to the 3 minute mark. But she is a life coach who works with moms and she helps them unlock their inner badass, step into their power so that they can feel unstoppable confidence, certainty, and connection. And tonight we're going to be talking about how to feel at peace as an unfiltered person. And Amy, you were sharing earlier that you have this memory with one of your boys that one of your sons had a moment of unfiltered, curt assertiveness. And can you tell us about that?
Well, I'm not sure if it was assertive, but they just kind of say stuff that needs a filter and they don't always have one. So my youngest, this memory is from on my Facebook memories. It was from 10 years ago. So he was 4.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently he had some Go Fish cards that he didn't want to lose. He wanted to make sure he could hang on to them. And I told him, make sure you put it somewhere safe. And he said, you mean like in my butt? Because I think that's a safe place.
Oh my gosh.
So that is the life that I live with 3 boys that just say whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, life with 3 boys. Definitely. And so that is hilarious, and we laugh. But the other but, there are moments that we're going to talk about tonight that adults who have a very keen, constructive eye and can see things and want to improve them, and they see things differently than others, like yourself, they can say things in a curt, blunt way, and sometimes people aren't always laughing. And we're going to talk about that tonight, how we can feel at peace if we're wired that way. Mm-hmm. Did I encapsulate our conversation okay there?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Awesome. We have, if you are watching, go ahead and comment below if you would consider yourself an unfiltered person. Would you say, Amy, the majority of people, while we're waiting for a little more people to come on, would you say that the majority of your clients that you coach have the same struggle/virtue as you do?
I think a lot of them do. I think people call it different things, or they're not really super aware of it. And that's definitely a new thing for me too, is like learning and relearning that, oh yeah, I have this thing where I just say stuff. But yeah, I think I would say that a lot of the women that I work with and a lot of the women in my Facebook group, they have that issue, but they see it more as a detriment and more as a problem for them, as far as relationships and connection with people.
And after coaching with you, they see it as less of a detriment, I'm sure.
Yes.
And so some of the tips that Amy shares with her coaching clients as a life coach, she is going to share with us tonight in this live session over how to find peace as an unfiltered person. And again, to reintroduce her, because we are at the 3-minute mark, she works with moms who want to unlock their inner badass, step into their power so that they can feel unstoppable confidence, certainty, and connection. So I'm so excited to get to these tips. So what is the first tip you have for unfiltered people to feel at peace?
Okay, so the first tip that I have is to stop resisting it. I did that for a long time. And the things that we resist, they tend to push back, right? So what you resist persists. So if the way I explain that to people is, if it's kind of like a dragon, and if you're trying to fight this dragon all the time, it becomes all about the dragon. And so the dragon gets bigger and you get smaller. And so the problem keeps happening and it turns into a bigger problem because you're just fighting it and you're butting heads with it. But if you focus on you instead and stop resisting it and just accept it as there it is, there's this beast you're trying to figure out about yourself, then you're focused on you and you get bigger and the dragon gets smaller.
Wow, that is so empowering. I love that concept.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a dragon that needs to be slayed all the time, but you know how, have you seen that movie How to Train Your Dragon? And it turns out like he's not a scary dragon.
Yes,
it's just kind of there.
Actually, yeah.
So if you judge it and try to fight it, it's going to fight back. So the first step really is just stop resisting it.
Would this make it a form of shadow work?
Oh, it could be.
For some. For some.
It could be. Mm-hmm.
So first step is to stop resisting it. And you will grow bigger and the dragon will grow smaller. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes me think I can handle the next two steps, because so far I feel like I can handle that.
They're not scary. So the second step is to create unconditional love for yourself. So knowing that you're enough exactly as you are is really going to help you when you tend to say stuff that comes out a little bit unfiltered or a little bit assertive. When you can love yourself and you love that part of yourself that does that sometimes, you could accomplish a lot from that place.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for a third one?
What'd you say?
So, you ready for a third one, or you want to talk about that one some more?
Yeah, I'm sitting with that second one a little bit. It's so good. So how many years ago was it for you that you really struggled to love that part of you? Was it 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, a year?
It's kind of when I struggled to, that's on and off. Because it comes up in different situations, you know. So if I can get to a place where I love the part of me that's kind of scratchy to somebody else, you know, it depends on who you're scratching, because then you're way more aware of it, and then you don't like that part of yourself anymore. Especially if it's like a spouse or a child, you know, an older child or a family member that take it a little bit more personal, or that you really didn't mean to hurt their feelings or like just be so blunt with them. So I'd say it was a joke for a really long time, and really in my family, like, oh, there's Amy, she doesn't have a filter, so you know, because I'll just kind of say stuff. And then I got to a really good place with it about 2 or 3 years ago, where I went through a huge, like, intensive experience. Did some coaching of my own and really got to a place of self-love and unconditional acceptance of myself. And then I'd say probably about 7 months ago or so, when I had some stuff happen at home where like things just all got jumbled up, like they tend to do when you have teenagers and all that stuff. Then it just kind of swung into a different mode, because what happens is I go into hero mode and I try to save everybody, and I just am like, but I have all this stuff to say, and everybody pushes back against it. So then it was really difficult again to love that part of myself. And then with the Project Shift program that we're doing, I just came right back around to a whole other level of, okay, like this is another part of myself and I can love that part too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would imagine that as a coach, you're such a gift to your clients on many levels, and one level being that you have such a keen eye that wants to naturally correct and perfect and make things better, and you're not uncomfortable with curt honesty. And I would imagine that is one of the many reasons moms invest in you as a life coach. Yeah,
because I tend to be kind of a helicopter where I can kind of hover above the whole situation and kind of just see it, all the pieces together, where like if you're right up in a situation, you can't always do that. You always see it because you're right in the middle of it. So I think that's one of the gifts that I really do have, is being able to do that and see it, and just learning to like know when it's okay to push a little bit, or to say like, okay, it's this. And then also allow people to have their own experiences and allow them to figure out their own struggles, because me just telling you isn't really gonna help anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I think we are ready for tip number 3. I want to remind our viewers, I forgot to say it at the beginning. I want to share with our viewers that as Amy is teaching us tonight and sharing with us, if comments and questions come up, I see some comments, go ahead and put some questions below for Amy and for us to explore together. So we're ready for our number 3 step or tip to find peace as an unfiltered person.
Okay, so my third tip is really getting to an understanding that you have a gift. So if you're somebody that can see the whole picture, and this is something I was just reintroduced to like last week, struggling with some of this stuff. Just knowing that I have a gift and I'm able to connect things, and that serves me really well sometimes, and it serves my clients really well sometimes. But at other times, it's I'll use the analogy that I got the other day of being like a monster truck, where like it's really strong and powerful, and it's a big presence and can do a whole. It's really cool, but and it's absolutely a gift to have. But that's if I'm doing stuff that a monster truck has to do. But if I'm at the grocery store driving around in a monster truck, and then I go in the store to do my shopping and I'm a monster truck and I'm destroying everything around me, like that's not the time and place. That's not a place where my gift is really appreciated, you know? So I think just learning to understand that it is a gift, and it does really serve me, and stepping back and asking myself, like, is this appropriate at this time? Is this something that's going to serve them? And also being super aware of if I'm in drama energy or not, because I tend to be a hero. And I think a lot of people who have this kind of ability are like it's always on the edge of your mouth of like, oh, I just want to say this to this person. Like, I think sometimes you get caught up in drama energy and you want to fix it. You want to hero them and be like, look, just come away from there and move over here, you know, and this is what you do. And just asking, it's really just taking a step back. This is a gift. Is this a good time for this? Is this going to serve the other person right now? Is this the place to be a monster truck or not? And then check with myself. Am I in drama? Am I trying to fix something that's not mine to fix? It's really not my business. It's their business.
I'm thinking of the drama triangle, and I'm sure if Tim is still watching, he is familiar with that. But the drama triangle, to get out of to evolve the hero mode, what is the healthier evolution of that? I know I always
so the hero. Yes. So the hero mode is I'm trying to remember what the out is for that. Is like the problem solver, like the empathetic.
Oh, I thought that was victim. I thought victim was vulnerable problem solver.
That is. Hero is empathetic something or other.
Yes.
Because you want to know what they're feeling. And as an observer, maybe?
Possibly. Yes, that would make sense.
Because I don't have my notebook in front of me with the.
No, me neither. That would make sense though, because the hero is seeing all the people with your ability are seeing all the parts and have a keen eye and want to say, "Look at this, do that, don't do that." Yes.
Well, the thing to realize too is when you do that to people, and relating it to that monster truck analogy, because that's my favorite, is like if you monster truck somebody and they don't want to be monster trucked, like they're a victim. And so you really disempower them. And so if you look at it from that point of view, it's more of a, can I serve them with this, or is this going to disempower them? And if you're going to take their power away and make them into a victim, then that's not the purpose. That's not the reason that you're interacting with them. That's not the reason you're coaching them.
Yes. So the 3 steps we've heard are: don't resist it, love yourself unconditionally, regardless of the moment or the day you're having. Love yourself unconditionally. And then see this unfiltered, curt way that you're wired as a gift, because it is. Oh, that's so good. I'm interested to know so in the comments, share below if you are an unfiltered, curt person that sometimes gets in trouble or sometimes rocks the boat too much. I know Tim said below that he is. He said, hell yeah, I am one. So Tim is an author and blogger. So it's good. And vlogger and a blogger. He has both. So he uses that gift in that way. For sure. I'm wondering if other people watching would consider themselves that as well.
I could see that being a thing with a lot of authors. Do you find that, Meg, too, with yourself? Because
yes,
a lot, and that's a really good avenue to like get your thoughts out there.
Yes. So I know we were talking in the course that we're in with human design that I'm a 3rd line rebel, and you're a 5th line. I don't know what the word is for 5th line, but I know they're similar. Yeah. And so maybe does the 5th line have more to do with the correcting and the rebel just has to do with really rocking the boat.
Could be. Fifth line is kind of a hero energy.
Okay.
Fifth line is kind of, like it can become a hero really fast, and people can make you into their hero. Like they kind of look at you as a leader, and they look at you as like, the way, and it makes it really easy to get sucked into hero energy.
Okay. I
kind of a fixer, but it's more of a leader.
Okay.
Just depends on like.
Fascinating. I can feel my sacralness can say this. I can feel the difference of those. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. For sure.
I tend to get sucked into the hero. And I think a lot of that has to do with like, sometimes it's because we're women, and women are supposed to take care of everybody else, and we're supposed to be, be kind and considerate. And that means like, I give my love to everybody else before myself. So sometimes it's easy to get sucked into that drama fixing hero mode.
Totally. And you're right. When you are in drama mode, it is hard to decipher when you're operating out of survival mode and drama mode. It's hard to decipher, is this the appropriate time for my gift of being curt and assertive and unfiltered? Speaking of that, Tim's question is, when do you know you have the right audience, quotes, that are willing to accept your monster truck gift? Great question, Tim. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the best advice I've gotten for this so far, and it's worked, I've tried it out a bunch of times, is the double opt-in. So you kind of ask them, like, I've got something to say, like, do you want to hear what I have to say? Or I have an opinion about this. Do you want me to tell you? It might be a little harsh, or it might be a little upfront. I'm not sure how else to say it. And if they're like, yeah, sure, tell me, then you'd be like, are you sure? Because it might be just a little scratchy, but that's just how I'm going to say it. And so you like a double opt-in, like, are you okay with this? Are you really okay with this? and that's a really good way. I've tried this out on my husband a bunch of times, really in the last like 7 days, like, oh, it's this, and I'm like, well, I'm going to tell you. Do you want me to tell you? He's like, yeah, just tell me. I'm like, are you sure? Because it's me, and then so I get a double opt-in, but that goes way better than just blah. So I'd say like, probably don't just assume the audience is the right audience. Get the permission first. Find a way to ask if it's okay.
Yeah. And I guess from a marketing standpoint, for Tim, who does books and blogs and vlogs, from a marketing standpoint, you could do copy that reads, this is for you if blank, blank, blank. This is not for you if you're easily offended by cathartic cuss words. You are easily offended. You are.
Yeah.
It's so that whole marketing.
Yeah. And some like social media marketing, I'll do that, where I'll say like, okay, I'm going to shoot it straight here. And so if you're easily offended, this isn't for you, or, I'm about to get real with you. So if you want to hear that, keep reading. Or if you're going to be easily offended, don't keep reading here. So I do that sometimes.
So good. And I love in your Facebook group, it's very, the cover page, or the cover photo in your pitch, you talk about helping people tap into or unlocking their inner badass. So you give people a little taste of, this is the type of language, this is the direct style that you teach with. So that's really good to kind of test out the audience, ask for permission. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have that insight in them, because if they're not okay with me saying, unlock your badass, then that's not the right place for them. I'm not the right coach for them. Everybody has that part of them that they want to be more assertive, or they want to be able to use their voice. And so I really try to help them find that balance of like, yes, you can speak up and you can say things, and get to a place where it feels good. It feels empowering and not disempowered or scary.
Oh, totally. My co-host and I, we taught a course last week about how to launch a podcast. And one of the podcasts that we helped to launch, it'll be launching soon or dropping soon, is called The Assertive Christian. And it's going to be so amazing. The host is phenomenal and just really empowering. Christians to stop being so Ned Flanders like from The Simpsons, that Christians can also be assertive and speak directly and be authentic with their feelings and preferences and correct people when it needs to be out of love. And but I love she came into the class wanting to call it Christian assertiveness.
Yeah.
And I pushed back a little bit as we are talking today. As in a place of peace and power, I pushed back and I said, can I be direct with you about your title? And she said, yeah. And I said, I'm going to want to change it for marketing's sake. And she said, yeah, I can. Okay, double opt-in. She goes, yeah. And I said, you totally should call your show the Assertive Christian. And she was like, I love it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm so glad I pushed back.
That's good. I think that there's so much around that about like assertiveness and being mean or being rude or being, something like that. And it really depends on your audience too. Like I still have a really hard time in, like a job setting or like where I'm not as comfortable with people. It's really hard for me to speak up still. But with people I'm more comfortable with.
Because I've only seen you in settings where you are around other coaches and entrepreneurs and you're very assertive and owning your power. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just different situations and just trying to, I don't know, trying to figure that out, be aware
of. So good. Yeah. How can we stay in touch with you and connected with you and keep learning from you, from your great content, great direct, unfiltered, assertive content?
Yeah, I'd say follow me on Facebook. So I don't know if I can or you can put my link in there for my Facebook page. That's probably the best place. And then for women, I have a Facebook group it's called Badass Babes. And so I have live teachings in there every week, and it's a group of women, and we all talk about these types of issues and like getting to know yourself and really owning your own power.
Mm-hmm. That's so awesome. So great. And from your Facebook page, people, I remember because I was looking around in there, it's not message you. It says something else. Basically book a time to visit with you.
I think so. Or they can message me. Whatever that button says, if you click that.
Yes, click that button and get connected. Get more of Amy's rich content.
Yeah, or send me a Facebook message. That's fine too.
Yes. Well, we will tag Amy below and we'll put her link to her Facebook page or Facebook group below. And then if other questions come up to you, ladies and gentlemen, that you want to run by Amy, you can do that here as well. Follow her, friend her, because you're also on Instagram, right? Amy Clark Coaching?
Amy Clark Coaching on Instagram.
Yes. So follow her, friend her, and keep finding peace with being an unfiltered person.